Another day, another meal prep. Today, we are going to be making breakfast burritos. I originally thought this was going to make 8, so you'll hear me refer to 8 quite a few times throughout the video, but I was wrong. I made 10, which is even better. You have even more food to go around. This is a heavy freaking plate. And guess what? Each of these burritos, less than 400 calories and 50 grams of protein. Let's freaking go. This is a dual threat recipe because you start off with an egg bake. We had it in this dish, and then we transferred the egg bake into the tortilla to make a burrito. So you could eat it just as the egg bake, which that has 308 calories. So if you're going extra lean, you got to be extra strict for your diet. Might be the way to go. We're already using some low net carb tortillas for this recipe, so we're lowering the carbs regardless. But if you need to be extra lean by any means or anything like that, probably the way to go. Let's get into it. Right here, you guys can see I've already set the oven to 375, so go ahead and do that right off the bat. Just get that going. We're going to go with a dozen eggs, but for the sake of leaning down, we're going to go 4 eggs and 8 egg whites. If you want to lean it down even farther, you could do just straight egg whites, or you could do all 12 eggs if you're bulking or something like that and you want all the nutrition that comes from the eggs. But I still want to get the nutritional value of the eggs, so we're going to throw 4 in here. And then for the egg whites, I have it all written down, 368 grams of egg whites. Comes out to the 4 to 8 to make the full dozen. So these burritos are nice and lean to begin with. They're going to actually be less than 400 calories and have 50 grams of protein. I was surprised when I read it myself. Impressive. Alright, got our 4 eggs in the bowl. I'm going to turn this on. 368 grams of egg whites. And the whole goal of all of my meal prep personally is every now and again I'll go a little overboard and do something a little more complicated, see, because I enjoy cooking, so I enjoy making complex meals from time to time, you know, just to not only challenge myself. Shit. 370 grams of egg whites. That's alright, that's alright. Not only to challenge myself, but you know, to see if I can make something, you know, extra delicious. So by no means am I trying to make, you know, bland stuff or anything like that. Gonna add some Fat Free cottage cheese in there. For the cottage cheese, we are going 350 grams on this one. But normally what I'm trying to do is make something that's pretty quick and easy, but still delicious. Because if I don't make my meal plans, meal prep, whatever you want to say, I typically end up doing one of two things. I either don't eat, and then I don't hit my protein, and I risk losing, you know, all the gains that I have made, or I end up just ordering something because, again, lazy, and it's just easy to grab something and eat. So either way, making stuff, you can control the variables, see what you're putting into your body, and make sure you're hitting your protein goals, your calorie goals, everything like that. No way, you gotta be kidding me. That was like literally 1 curd. Crazy. But yeah, so it just helps me, you know, stay on the goals, keep everything going without going off track or allowing myself, you know, to get that leeway and lose all the progress that I have made. So throwing things together as quickly, easily as possible, and making them delicious, of course, because I want to enjoy what I'm eating. You know, I love food, so making everything as delicious as possible is the name of the game. Alright, and then I'm just going to whisk this all together kind of to get the eggs going. And then it's up to you. If you don't like the curds in the cottage cheese, you can actually just blend this all. Throw it all into the blender instead of throwing it into the bowl, but I really don't care about the curds, so I'm just going to do this. Fluff it up, get a little frothy. just a touch. You don't gotta go crazy with this, just to get everything nice and incorporated. And we're baking this anyway, so it's gonna, you know, help incorporate everything nicely. All right, next up, our lean beef. Let's get this in the pan, get it fried up, and then we got some seasoning right here for it as well. All right, well, I throw this in the pan, get this opened up. Last I checked, down about a total of 21 pounds. Our best was 27, but that includes that final shred down as well as that very small dehydration cycle we did. So no doubt about it that we're gonna be lower than, you know, baseline. And I also did a refeed period. The refeed period was just to kind of reestablish my metabolism. And because we went so low for that shred down, by the end of it we were doing about 1,000 calories and like, what was it, 300 milligrams of sodium for the last day, something like that. So gotta kind of help your body reestablish itself, get back to some normalcy. Yes, I did splurge. I absolutely splurged and went a little overboard. Not as crazy. I've seen some dudes go pretty crazy with it, but it was nice, and it definitely did help, because even before that I was kind of starting to slope down into the 1600s for my daily allotment, and recently I've been eating at 1800 calories and losing weight. So mission accomplished in my opinion with reestablishing the metabolism, and that is a good thing, because man, it gets harder and harder the lower you go. Once you're only eating like 1,000 calories, what are your options for the day? You know what I mean? So getting reestablished, kind of helping myself out. It's going to go down again eventually as we get farther and farther into the shred, closer to that 15% body fat. But at least for right now, you know, we have kind of a reestablished baseline. So we're doing 2 pounds of this 93% lean. And trust me, the 93% lean is plenty delicious, especially when you're mixing it with eggs and cheese and everything. The only time I really go for something fatty is if I'm having like a steak. Other than that though, not too bad getting lean cuts, leaner options. Alright, got that nice and spread out. Now what we'll do is we will add our seasoning. So I'm just using simple, easy taco seasoning with less sodium. Even with less sodium, it's 210 milligrams per serving. And there's 5 servings per container, so this is like 1,000 milligrams. So if you're watching your sodium, I'd probably skip this and try and make your own kind of taco seasoning to get you started on this. But if you got a little bit of an allotment or you really don't care, this is a good way to get a really nice base flavor. Alright, we got that in there. And if you don't care about your sodium, you could use 2 of these packets. I don't want to go that crazy with my sodium, so I'm going to use a little bit of my own seasoning and use just 1 packet. But they're not crazy on the calories. The entire packet is 75 calories. Right here I'm just using some onion powder, a tablespoon of it. And then I'm going to use a tablespoon of this paprika. It is Spanish style paprika. Do I think it matters if you use Spanish style? Not really. I think you could use cayenne or chili powder. Just, you know, they all have different flavors, so make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Alright, now we'll start getting this nice and mixed up. And that's the simple seasoning for that. Nice, easy, simple, and that'll help kind of season everything else as well. Biggest thing here is making sure that you mix this up if you season it like that. Otherwise, you know, sprinkle it a little extra. But we're just looking to get this nice and cooked. And then this will actually be the base of what we're about to make. Normally, I would sprinkle this on after. I've made this a few times, just this egg bake alone, but what we're going to do is we'll add half of this bag. We're going to use the whole bag. It comes out to 198 grams, or 1 3/4 cup of this fat-free cheese. Alright, I use fat-free for everything, but I'm going to add half of it right now to our egg mix. And then the other half we will sprinkle on top at the end here. But for right now, we'll just get that in there. Getting nice and browned up right there, looking good. If I was you, I would cook this all the way, but if you want it to be like, I don't know, extra tender or something, you could undercook it ever so slightly, because it's going to go in the oven anyway. But me personally, I'm just going to cook it all the way real quick. Nearly done. Smelling pretty dang good. Reminds me of just a simple little taco beef. And I always press it down like this because it helps it get that little bit of a sear, that little bit of browning on it. And I just kind of do that throughout. I'll mix it up, repress, mix it up, repress. Alright, I'm going to turn off the heat on this, let it finish up, and we'll get on to the next phase of this. Basically done already. Alright, on to phase 2. I use one of these glass pans. I think it's probably the best way to go for making this little bake that we're going to do. This is actually kind of a dual threat option, because you can eat it just like this once it's done out of the oven. But what we're actually going to do is chop this up and make it our filling for the burritos. So we're going to lay this down, kind of press it on in there. I'm scooping it out like this because there's a little bit of fat left over and I don't want to get all of the fat in there. Yeah, we picked a lean beef anyway, but why scoop up the rest of it, you know? We're not missing out on too much by skipping out on the drippings. Alright, in the pan, looking good. Now you're just gonna use the spatula to press it on out. Get your nice base layer. This is essentially gonna kind of be the crust of this bake. If you see where I'm going with this, are you seeing the vision? You seeing it come together? Alright. I've seen a lot of people make this egg bake, and I've seen a few people make something similar into a burrito. So I figured, hey, let's do it too. Alright, and then you're just going to pour this over the top, that little mixture you made previously. You know what we could do? Let's incorporate some of the cheese real quick just on top of the beef. So you get a nice little, hopefully cheesy crust right there as well. I should have done that from the start. Learn from my mistakes. Throw some cheese on the top of this. Hopefully it'll crisp up and make a little crust. That'd be dope. Alright. Good. Pour over the top. Oh man, we're getting all the curds at the bottom. We can push those all out in a second. Get them better incorporated again. Okay. Very cool, very cool. And then the rest of the cheese. Top it on off. This should be nice and cheesy because we kind of incorporated cheese throughout. Plus the cottage cheese. Boom. This is ready for the oven. So we are going 375 for 30 minutes. Boom. Perfect. You could flip it around halfway if you want to, otherwise you could leave it. I'm just going to leave it and it'll be perfectly fine, but I know some people like perfectly even cooking and stuff, but in my experience it's come out perfectly fine every single time. I'll catch you guys after it is done baking. It's time! Big reveal! Let's go. Let's see it. Oh wait, let me lower this. Darn it. So silly. What's that? That'll work. That'll work. Big reveal. Epic reveal time. Oh yeah! Check that out. It's like a lasagna. Egg lasagna. Egg lasagna in the chat. Let's go! That looks good. Can you hear the sizzle? Yeah. All right. Let's let that cool down 5 minutes. All right. Let's dice this on up. So what I'm gonna do is go straight down the middle here. If you can see this from my angle, I've already gone uneven. Not horribly, but enough. Let's see, like here. Alright, we're looking barely even. I'm gonna try and cut this dude in half. Right there, maybe. All right. What do you think? Nice and even. Close enough. All right. Let's make some burritos. Oh man, I'm always horrible at that. I don't know what it is. That one's all not good. Alright. Burrito numero uno. Boom. Boom. That's not bad. I don't know. See the sizing here? Let me move this down a touch. So, not bad. Maybe we could just squeeze this a touch. Make it kind of a little more elongated. And then grab a paper towel and soak the excess up off of here real quick so we don't have super drippy burritos. I think we're looking pretty solid after that. So yeah, I'm just shaping them, just kind of squishing this a touch, and I think this is still going to be too much. This is going to be a big old burrito, which is awesome, but I think we're going to have one end open, which not bad. Boom. Check that out. Horrible folding. Didn't even get the ends in. Oh man. Alright, maybe I will pat the rest of this. But that is a good start right there. Check that out. Nice little burrito. Just toss that in the microwave, reheat that anytime you want. Nice amount of egg, nice amount of cheese, nice amount of meat. Very happy with that. Very happy. Alright. Let's get some of these on a plate. And then I always lay them down on the folded part, and that kind of helps seal them up the rest of the way, get them kind of stuck to themselves and hold them together. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just getting the oils from the beef and the cheese, and that's what's getting all this drippy. So, like I said, we're just gonna have to kind of individually dry off each piece, but I'm not gonna have you guys sit through me rolling 8 of these, so I will do one more real quick, just for shits and giggles. Other than that though, I think we're looking pretty solid. I think this came out well. But my point here is you could eat it just like this. Enjoy the loaf on its own, or, you know, make a burrito out of it. Your choice. Dual optionality. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can roll this one a little better. Get a little situated in there. Oh, it's looking pretty dang solid, man. Just a touch right there. Get that part started. Fold that in. Fold to the top. Fold in. Boom. That one's looking a little better. Alright, I'll get back with you when all these are done, rolled up, good to go. Go from there. And there you have it, folks. 10 whole burritos. I only thought we were gonna get 8, but hey, here we go. 378 calories a piece, 50 grams of protein, 14 fat, and only 8 net carbs. Perfect. I was wrong. This made 10 servings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these are damn full. Let me tell you, this is a heavy. Let me see what size tortilla these are. I want to say they're 6-inch in diameter. So, if you don't want to have to wrap these extra full, maybe go one size up. I was hoping we had some. We did not. Perfectly fine. We made it work. 10 burritos. Gigantic. I mean, look at this thing. It's freaking overflowing. I couldn't close a single one of these. But they look fantastic. I've had the egg bake before. It tastes wonderful. So these will be nice to just throw in the microwave, reheat. Good to go. Probably a minute and a half. Good to go. So excited. Another recipe down. We got 10 days of food, 10 breakfasts. Throw this with some fruit. Have it with like a little pancake, a banana, whatever, with your coffee. Just very easy, very simple, good to enjoy. Hopefully that was simple enough. Throw everything to bake, then grab a tortilla. Done. Let's go. Continue to shred, down to 15% body fat. Hopefully you're out there getting shredded too. As always, look better, feel better, be better. Catch you next time.